it looks like as well, Tori had to use rat-like tactics against Devin in their fight. Did I just say rat-like? Delete that shit, bro. No.
Oh, no! S tier is self-explanatory. These two are just stated to be at the top of the verse. As for A tier, well, that speaks for itself. Prime, Kreese, and Terry both are the next strongest in the verse, with Kreese being the only person to ever dodge Miyagi, which puts him above Terry, and Terry is able to slap the dude who literally trains Mike Barnes, who is the strongest Karate Kid villain, and not to mention trains Daniel to break wooden boards, which he struggles to do, but Terry can do it with ease. Obviously, when they are older, they are rusty, but they should still be in the same tier as their younger selves, and the reason why Terry is above the likes of Chosen is because Daniel does better against Chosen than Johnny does against Terry. And no, Johnny did not get weakened. He recovered right after, then tried getting the jump on Terry and failed. And mind you, Chosen had to rely on the pressure points against a Daniel who hasn't even learned them yet. And we see by season 4, post learning the pressure points and learning a completely new style, he stalemates with the same person that Terry slams. Oh, Chosen knows everything Miyagi has to offer. We literally have no showings to show that would put him above Terry, so Chosen just gets slammed by Terry. Next up, we have Johnny and Daniel, who are just in the same tier of power. They literally stalemate. And then Kreese is below them because Kreese literally gets beaten up by Johnny and Daniel individually. Now in B tier, we have Karate Kid 3 Daniel, or post Karate Kid 3 Daniel, who learned kata and has all the other techniques that Miyagi has to offer, which would put him above the likes of Mike Barnes and Chosen, and Mike Barnes is above Chosen. I mean, I already made a video on this topic, so you guys can check that out, shameless plug. But Mike Barnes is literally stated to be the strongest villain in the Karate Kid movies, so. Now you guys might be wondering, oh, well, Tyler, the Cobra Kai kids are so much more skilled than the Karate Kid verse kids. Shouldn't they be above? The thing is that the Karate Kid verse kids are just way stronger than them physically. The strongest feat that we've ever seen in the Cobra Kai verse is Hawk throwing Bert through a window, which is like calculated to be at over 300 joules. Meanwhile, Chosen can break apart stone, which is calculated to be at over 800 joules. So they just physically stomp the rest of the Cobra Kai kids. It doesn't even matter if they are more skilled.
In C tier is all the top tier kids in Cobra Kai, with Eli at the top. Not only was he about to beat Robbie before the time ran out, he quite literally puts Robbie to the ground with his gi, which would be completely fine if this was in a street fight, which is what this tier list is based off of. And despite him and Robbie having instances where they were about to win, Eli eventually catches the dub regardless. This should give him the edge over Robbie, but these two are so relative that you can make a case for either one of them being number one. Following up is Miguel and Sam, who are interchangeable since Sam can counter Robbie and is a good bit above Tori, but Miguel, even while nerfed, can fight Eli and Robbie. And at the bottom is unfortunately Tori, because she's just the one who's clearly below everybody, with her damn near losing to an injured Sam. At the top of this tier, we got Dimitri, and he's here due to him having scaling to the strongest Robbie we've seen by this point. Not only does Robbie learn both styles now, he stops holding himself back around midway through the season, which is why he's above Piper and Sean. Next up is Piper, who just scales above Sam, who uses Miyagi-Do. Sam in previous seasons just scales above Robbie for the most part, which is why Piper would be above Sean. While Sean's here, mainly due to him pressing Robbie and forcing him to apply Cobra Kai in season 3. Next, in E tier are the low tiers. At the top is Kenny and Devin. Both characters are actually shown to briefly keep up with people like Robbie and Tori had to rat against Devin in their fight. This should put them above Kyler, who got completely destroyed by an Eli who was solely using Miyagi-Do. And Kyler by this point beats up Chris, who was relative to Mitch, and fights Rickenberg.
Now in F tier, we have the characters who are pretty trash in comparison to everyone else in the verse, with Johnny Lawrence at the top of this tier. Now I know everyone is going to hate me for this, but Johnny straight up just doesn't have any scaling to the Karate Kid characters due to Chosen fighting a way stronger Daniel. And even when Daniel used that same technique that one-shotted Johnny, and mind you, in the first movie, he was injured doing that technique, Chosen completely negs it, and Daniel has to rely on other ways to actually fight him. So at best, he's probably just around that season 1 Miguel tier, which would put him above the likes of Xander, and Xander's above Aisha for obvious reasons. He literally beats her. And Bert and Nate are at the bottom because they have no scaling to anyone, and they're just ass. If you disagree with anything on the tier list, just join the link down in the description. That's the Discord link. You guys can talk to me and Dank about the tier list because I'm not here for comment debates. I'm over that bullshit. And I'll see you guys in the next one. You can say bye if you want.
No. This should put them above Kyler, who got completely destroyed by Oh no!